Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Kevin Shin. How are you?
Hi,
Yeah,
Kevin.
yeah. I'm doing great. I'm working from home today. I guess today is like December 10th. Today it's like Friday, so actually I work from like 8 to 5, and after I finish my work, I'm gonna like head to Busan because I'm gonna have like a kimchi making culture with my dad's side family.
Oh,
Nice.
nice, nice.
Yeah, but it's so good to see you guys like wearing those cute hairbands. What are you guys up to?
Not much. We were just studying.
Studying. Yeah, it was right before we go to bed, so it's a great time to be connected.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for coming to my show. I bet it was not an easy decision, but recently I really got hooked on like interviewing a lot of the successful like Korean people living overseas, or either they even though like even if they live overseas, I guess like they're like rocking their life in their careers or studying or whatnot. And when I just while I scroll over the my Kakao profile, like like Jihong, your profile kind of stood out to me. So I'm like, oh, let me actually talk to him and see like how he's doing. So I was just wondering what are you guys up to? And recently, like I've followed Sojang's Instagram and Jihong's Instagram as well, and you guys seem really good and happy together. So I was wondering like. So I guess you guys are now like settled down in like Baltimore. Is it in near Washington, or could you tell me about where you guys live and what you guys up to recently?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for labeling us successful people. And what else? And I just thought this is a great idea to get connected, like through podcast, which is the media that I've never tried before. So thank you for your like very experimental
Opportunity for
opportunity
us.
for us. And maybe Sojang, can you tell him about the location that we are currently living?
Yeah, so Baltimore, we're currently living in Baltimore. It's like 40 miles miles away from DC, so it'll be like 15 minutes driving from here to DC. So it's pretty close. Some people might say it's far, but my job is here, right here in the Baltimore city. That's the main reason why we're currently living in the city now. Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, I totally forgot mentioning this, but could you guys just briefly introduce you guys self to my like viewers in like domestic or international kind of place?
Yeah. Hello, all the viewers. My name is Jihong Lee, and I'm currently a graduate student in UT Austin. I'm majoring in data science, and this is my first year. I'm aiming to finish by 2023.
Cool.
Uh, yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Sojang, and I'm currently working for Under Armour. I'm pretty sure you guys will know what the company is. And I'm in SCM industry, supply chain management. So I'm working as a supply planner in footwear team. Like, so we're making shoes, but we don't make it here in the United States. We make it in Vietnam, Indonesia. So I'm the one who manage the capacity, and also just creating POs and checking on the factories if they're doing well to deliver the customer needs. Yeah.
Very nice, very cool. Yeah, thank you so much. And for my brief introduction, like right to help my viewers understand our relationship. So back in 2019, when I graduated from Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina, I ended up like landing my job in Austin, Texas, like at Google, working for sort of the quality test, which is the first vendor of Google. At that time, my role was as a quality engineer. I had to go through a lot of the quality checks and sort of data analysis using some internal Google tools. And right after I worked for this company for a couple of months. Actually, Ji-Hong Lee, you contacted me through LinkedIn, and like you almost had the exact same opportunity, and you sort of cracked all rounds of interview, and you just suggested whether if you just sit crash on a sofa, of my home for a couple of days. I'm like, sure, I think that's gonna be so excited, and luckily we hit it off, and we figure out that we're from the same hometown, like Busan, South Korea. And then like yeah, we had a blast for 3 4 days, and I really enjoyed the experience. And then we almost actually like looked for our same apartments because we are pretty sure that you almost like got this job fixed, but unfortunately there was some technical issues or whatnot, and then that just job didn't happen, right? And then, but we were in still touch like through a Kakao or whatever the SNS, and I heard that you got engaged, out of the blue. So, and yeah, now Sojung is like showing her engagement ring on the screen. I think that's really exciting, very fun thing to do, and yeah. So, what happened over the last 2 years in terms of your relationships or your experience in America? Yeah, my viewers mostly they're like Koreans, but they're also like I do have my ex Google employees who are also subscribing to my channel to get to know more about the Korean and American cultures and just just regular just our 20s or 30s life.
Yeah. So past 2 years. So right after I graduated, I was hoping to become a roomie with you and work for a tech company in Austin, but it ended up not happening. So instead, I moved to a small town called Clarksville in Tennessee, and I got a job there in a Tennessee LG factory.
Right.
And I worked as a material associate, which means I was in charge of inbound. In other words, whenever truck deliver raw part to the factory, I was in charge of managing the inventory and a system transaction of raw parts in the Tennessee factory. So there, I was working there like a slave, almost like 15 to 16 hours every day. And there, I met my savior, whose name is Sojang Kim. So,
That's how you guys met together, right?
yeah.
So, what kind of aspects of Sojung stood out to you, and did you make the first move to make the relationship happen, or?
As you can see through the screen, her awesome, how do you call this, the horn?
Yeah.
The Rudolph horn, reindeer horn. That made me horny. No, sorry.
Ooh, this is a little bit censored, but I like the way you put it. I like your straightforward, the Busan guy's mindset, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. She was just very open-minded. Our first date was actually at a state park, so we were just hiking, and then we got to this place where you can see the river right in front of the camping site.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to swim, and she joined me, and she was more fearless than me. Like she swam like I'll say like 20 miles. Oh,
wow.
Not 20 miles. 20 meters until I cannot even see. Like she was just enjoying nature, and I was just like really into her. I was like, wow, this girl is like fearless. I love her. And then we start to date, and we just start to move on together, and that's how we ended up.
Because based on my perception, like it's sort of like I think in Korean society, it's kind of taboo to you start a relationship in an office, right? So I was like, because of course, I think I did have like a couple of crush when I also had like job in Austin, but like I think, for example, once that moment comes, my rationality sort of stops me from approaching the girls as like female or guy relationship. So I was wondering like how you guys made it happen. I guess maybe the environment itself in Knoxville, Tennessee, there's nothing there, so you guys just get to hang out and lean on one another's and just going through a lot of tough times. Maybe because as a kind of I mean, as an Asian American, when I also like study in America, there was just nothing to play around and nothing to like choose or nothing to spend time with. Like when I was in a relationship, I got to really committed and devoted. So would you say like that environment also plays like huge factor in terms of you guys like developing your guys' relationship?
I think so, because the area where we used to live, it was called Clarksville. It's 1 hour away from Tennessee, and then
Nashville.
Nashville, and then there was really nothing to do there, and then also it was COVID, so it was really hard to meet people because I was also new to that area at that time. So I mean, I think that was the big factor, right? Because we were able to spend a lot of time together, just with no many other people. So I think that was really good opportunity for me to learn about who Jiyoung is, who this person is. So I think that was really good experience for me. Yeah.
Amazing.
And for us.
Yeah. So speaking of like Tennessee, or I know like Jihong, you studied in Alabama. Now you guys are living in Baltimore. So Sojung, where were you before you like moved to Tennessee?
here, I was really close to Baltimore. I used to live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, like DMV area before. And I went to school here, college here, and then I actually used to work for Amazon before I joined the company in Tennessee.
Wow.
And then I didn't like it at all, so I went to Tennessee for the new job, and then I didn't like it as well, so I came back for this new job in Baltimore.
So only the good part of both of you guys working in Tennessee is just like you find your guys soulmate, right?
Yeah,
soul partner.
Yeah.
That's such a like, great gain. And so what would you say, for my viewers who have never been to America, like, is there any big difference between like each state? And could you a little bit more explain how you were in like Alabama, Tennessee, or Baltimore in this, like in terms of like living culture or living cost or anything,
So actually, we briefly discussed before the meeting with you what is the difference between us living in Korea versus living in US.
Right.
And one thing I could think of is that I feel like back in Korea, people want me to become a certain thing or certain people, and they have like high expectation. And if I don't meet their expectation, or if I don't behave as they wanted me to behave, like they'll say something. They'll be like, "Oh, why don't you wear like proper clothes? And why don't you like maybe it's time for you to buy a car and start to drive?" But in US, I felt like people do not care unless I do not hurt them. Like people, if I say, "Hey, I study math and I just like this," it may sound geeky and nerdy, but I love it. And they'll be like, "That's cool. I like what you do. Just keep up with it," And yeah, to me, that's the major difference. To me, that's
So, sort of both of you guys are on the same page in a sense that like since there are less social pressure and you guys could achieve whatever you want to do, like which is kind of proportionate to like what you guys have put in. That's one of the biggest driving force that makes you like keep living in America versus Korea.
To me, yes.
And then I guess like last year it was such a like chaotic season and period in America, right? There was a lot of like racial discriminations, like protests, and then president's inaugurations got like really messy and messed up, like, and then there was also like a lot of the COVID pandemic. Like as an Korean American living in America within that kind of chaotic period, like how was it?
When I used to live in Baltimore or like DC area before I go to Tennessee, I didn't really experience anything related to racism. But when I was in Tennessee, there was a few moments that I actually had experienced that. So I think it really depends on where you live in the United States. Here, they're more like diverse, more like different people from different country. But in Tennessee, it was more like white American there. So I think that was the big difference. And yeah, how about you, Gio?
Yeah, I agree with her in terms of racial discrimination. Back in Alabama or Tennessee, I encountered a few racism here and there, but since I moved up here, I had none. And one thing I was really surprised about like this area in general is that if I go to like some restaurant or some shops, I'll see like bunch of people from like diverse background. I'll see some, yeah,
a lot of immigrants here.
A lot of immigrants.
Yeah.
I saw like, yeah.
Because as a person who grew up in like south part of South Korea, which is Busan, I also studied in South Carolina, work in Texas. I've never personally experienced living or studying in like northern areas like Boston, New York, Washington, or Seattle, whatnot. But when I like talk with my other Asian like kind of international students like who have studied in Ivy Leagues. I think like traditional Ivy Leagues are most like upper north like east area, and sometimes when I talk with friends who study in West Coast like California or that kind of stuff, like I definitely see that doesn't mean that they have not experienced any racial discrimination, but they also mentioned that like the more diversity you live in, the less probability that you're gonna go through any racism. And also, I think it seems that the education level also seems matter, and also it seems that like, there are a lot of like factors playing in, definitely. But I think that America is such like a big country with like 50 states. So I think for me, it seems like the combination of 50 countries. So no single, not even single like Americans could tell like, oh, this is America or this is American way. And I think over time, like I heard that America is getting more diverse. Would you guys feel that like more immigrants are coming in America recently from all our other countries, or because of the high sort of regulation bars, it's you barely see any immigrants coming in compared to Canada or something?
I don't know. You know.
Because like for example personally when I worked in Austin like as you guys can tell like it's become like Silicon Hills right now it's like most of the grand companies from Silicon Valleys are moving to Austin as you can tell like maybe the Tesla or Microsoft, Amazon, you name it literally. So I see like every week almost every month I see like new houses are building and when I could like literally see every single like international restaurants around my company. So I'm like wow, this city is definitely booming. And I don't know how they are immigrating here, whether they're like illegally, like legally, semi-illegally. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, first of all, if I want to actually like see whether people are coming in, I guess I have to like see the statistics of it. But personally, like I cannot feel it because I work, I study at home, and I don't go to work, and she like barely go out. We go out, but it's kind of hard for us like meet people,
Yeah.
especially like people from like other countries.
And also, we just moved to this new city about 3 months ago, so we didn't have a lot of opportunity to meet really like meet new people or like meet locals a lot. So maybe that's why we don't really know. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'll just use the statistical inference skill that I learned from the class. I'll just go around, pick some random samples,
Sure.
and then do some statistical inference, and then
Sure.
I'll tell you the answer.
yeah, amazing. Speaking of that, my next topic was asking about your majors and what you're passionate about, your studying and whatnot. First of all, like, Ji Hong, what did you study back in your undergrad, and why are you majoring data science in UT Austin? I mean, I've got like millions of questions like follow up, but let's like start from one by one. You know.
Okay, so back in undergrad, I studied applied mathematics as my main major, and I studied computer science as my minor. And just like Kevin, I wanted to get a job in a tech company or IT industry, but I ended up working for a manufacturing scene. And there, I didn't expect that I'll be dealing with a lot of data, but indeed there were so much data that I had to deal with. And there, I kind of fall in love with like data cleaning, data wrangling, data visualization, and getting an insight from like this messy data was fascinating to me. So at that point, I was like, okay, I guess I have to study data science. So there, after work, while I was working for LG, I studied data science. As a result, I completed the series of courses that's been provided by the IBM, which is IBM Data Science Professional.
Sure.
Professional. Yes. So I forgot the exact name, but I completed. And then after that, I was like, okay, I have to move to the next step. And I realized that like taking the series of courses is not enough to become a data science. So I just decided to pursue the degree.
And would you say like you made a right decision in terms of the tuition fee and the education quality, your like networking people around you? Are you very satisfied with your current education?
Yeah, so first of all, about the tuition fee, so I have to complete 10 courses to achieve this degree. And each course is $1,000, so in total is $10K. So I think that's a reasonable price for master's degree from this prominent university. And second of all, in terms of connection, it's a little bit tough to make connections since it's all remote. But I've been reaching out people through the Piazza or a Discord, and I made one good connection. I would say the guy who works in he's currently living in DC. He works for some tech company, and yeah, I do the Zoom meeting with him regularly. I would say once a week, and then So I'm expecting to meet more people as the course progress. But
Interesting.
so far, I made good one connection.
Are all classes on live or they're all saved as like video files so you can like take it whenever you want?
Yes.
What is
So
it?
all courses are online. Yes.
Oh, they're online. So you don't have to like sit on the table at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. whatever. Like you can just choose whenever you want to take the class.
True. I try to study from 8 to 5.
Wow. For me, like that sounds really hard. It requires a lot of self-discipline and patience.
It does. But whenever I feel lazy, I see my wife and my dog, and I realize that I have families to feed, and that's my main motivation.
Now you're putting in like a breadwinner kind of mindset, and then I think that's sort of the biggest responsibility. Yeah, your shoulder like seem much bigger. I don't know if that's because you worked out hard or maybe your family, the weight of family got more even got larger. But
Both. I'll say both. Yeah.
So okay, because I'm also like studying and yeah, as you can tell, I'm working as a software engineer, right, for a startup company where I think I could like proudly sort of present that our company is kind of a one of a kind because not just because we work with Hyundai or Naver, which is like a big company, but because just the unique product that our company is releasing toward a lot of the global clients is it's something pretty special. Like we are. Have you guys heard or played a GTA, kind of the car simulation kind of game in America? It's quite similar, but only difference is we are trying to copycat or we have to exactly transfer the real life data into the real simulation data. So we have to sync up with a lot of the data, and at the same time we have to think of a lot of different factors and possibilities and objects, something like that. So I'm really blessed to be and join this team, and there are a lot of multinational talents. But at the same time, like it could be really like demanding and tiring because they have really such a high expectation. I think that people really matters. Some people believe the environment makes people, but I kind of feel the other way around. I think like people make rather environment. So a lot of my actually I'm the one of the employees like who finished bachelor's. A lot of my workers they are like all masters. They got all masters, and they'll like either study like AI, like machine learning, deep learning, as you can tell. And so we do have a lot of like smoking time. I don't know if in America it's kind of popular. Like every once in a while, like every hour, they just go out for smoking. And even though I don't smoke, I just follow them to do like a social smoking, to keep up with what they're saying and stuff like that. Yeah, so I've seen actually a lot of after the COVID happened, a lot of my IT majors, computer science, kind of science majors, they pick up like data science as their master's program. So I was really curious and into about it. So who knows? After 2-3 years, I may probably like pursue that feedback. I mean, pursue that kind of a master's degree after I hear good feedback from you guys. So John, how about you? What did you study at? What made you work as a SCM manager?
First of all, I'm not a manager, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Just wanted to be clear. Yeah. So I was in a business school, so I studied SCM, supply chain management, and also I double majored in marketing.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to study business, so I wanted to make money, once I get a job. But I knew that I don't have that brain like you guys. I don't have like mathematical understanding or more like, science, more like STEM major. So I knew that I was not that type of person who will be good at it. So I was thinking, what should I do? And then, if you think, what if I want to work for Nike later? What if I want to work for, let's say, Apple or Microsoft? I knew that a lot of, like, not a lot of, I think I can say maybe 99% of the companies, they will need anyone who is HR, accountant, or SCM, It's just
Definitely.
something that, every single company will need to have in their company, right? So I think that's why I decided to study business, just to be safe, and then just to make sure that I can make my own money to feed myself. So I think that was my main reason to choose that major when I was in college.
So with that being said, like, are you planning to have your own business in future?
Maybe not. For now, I think I'm more like like I want to learn more stuff. So even though I'm in SCM field now, currently I'm studying UX design. So I also want to have some understanding and background in the IT industry.
Wow.
So I just want to explore everything, you know. Then maybe if I have something later in the future that I wanna, you know, if I wanna have my own business or whatever, I think whatever I do now, that would really help me to what I want to do in the future. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So, like, my question is, do you guys discuss this kind of matter on your dinner table? So, like, because I think you guys could cooperate and teach one another's like strengths or their majors a lot to one another, you know, as a synergy effect.
Yeah, so recently I started game development. It's kind of lame to say game development, but I started building a Tetris. So I'm done
Right.
with this, and then I'm going to make more game from now on. And we're talking, okay, so if I not Tetris, if I start to make more complicated game, would you willing to do the UX design part of the game? And she said, yeah. So yeah, we talk about it, and on top of talking, more than just talking, I think we'll just start building stuff together. So I guess that's the extension of talking.
Also, I can do marketing. You know, I was a marketing major, so there are so many things we have. Our experience, skills, or whatever we have. I think we can do something for fun, or
Very
even
cool.
something more serious later. Yeah.
So, as a summary, like, for example, as a person who double major economics and then like computer science, you know, I think economy is a study of you. It teaches you like how to make decision in your life. How can you summarize business and data science? Can you like make like a finalize any like one sentence? What is the economics, you know, or what is the academia, you know? What does it teach you in your life?
I think business major is really all about really making the person like you or your service through your product. Whatever you sell, whatever you provide, you have to make them like it. So I think that's the main thing of the business. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good kind of an analysis, because I think life is about marketing. I think we have to sell ourselves with, no matter how good product we have, if we can't sell it or if we cannot marketalize on the market, then it's of no use, right? So I think that's the beauty of marketing and business. How about you, Ji Hong?
Data science summary in one sentence. That's a tough one. I'll say.
I mean, if you can,
Yes.
if like, let's say, imagine like if you have like a little baby or niece or like 3-4 years old, and you're like, Uncle, what is data science? How would you explain him or her to like one sentence, you know?
Data science. Ooh.
Like, what lesson can you learn, or what does it teach you, basically? You know, that's my question, right? Mm-hmm.
I mean, one sentence. I mean, with a lot of like messy datas, like,
Sure.
I can derive a very useful insight. That's the sentence that I can think of for now.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I didn't want to trap you or trouble you, but I was just wanting to ask you some kind of.
But you made it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that was a good.
My follow-up question is, for those of viewers who are debating themselves whether they have to go to America or to stay in Korea, whether it be for as a student, as a worker, like, could you guys share a little bit about how you guys first moved to America? Was it by your free will or by your parents' push, or like, when did you first make a decision to come to America, and how was your first adjustment? You know what I'm saying? So let me share with my example. As a person who studied in foreign language high school in Busan, I did have a very high ambitions to be really good at a lot of foreign languages, because at that time I've met a lot of talented friends who are really good at languages and presenting themselves in different like cultures and stuff like that. And I had like a talk with my dad when I was like back in junior high school, and he was like, "Hey, in your area, if you're gonna major in any business or law related, and then it's very likely for you to go to America, why don't you just take the initiative and just like go to directly in register, sign up for just American like undergrad, rather than you just first register Korean kind of university." Because he finished like his master's in like Donghwa University in Busan. He had generally like had very negative like aspect about a lot of the Korean college education system, and I was like, yeah. And then the biggest reason why I want to move there is like, of course, I got a lot of stress for preparing Korean SAT, but at the same time, like I was really into watching a lot of American TV shows such as like Glee, Friends, like Gossip Girl, and whatnot, and I thought my personality character would be more aligned with the sort of American culture, which assess more diversities, and they really appreciate people who have like challenging spirits and whatnot. So at that moment, like I, made up my mind to study America for 1.5 years. And my freshman year was definitely tough. I studied in a very like small rural area where I was the only Asian, but I did not regret about my decision because I think American education definitely has a love which Korean education doesn't have. So I fell in love with a lot of my professors, friends, my American families, and that kind of breathtaking experience really helped me shape who I am right now. And if I had not come to United States, like I wouldn't be at the same position where I am right now. So, if I have a children or kids in future, I'll definitely send them to America for their higher education. Something like this, like just your education experience and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, that was great, Kevin. Thank you.
Welcome.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, so my case, when I came to the state, it was not like, oh, I want to go to the United States to study. It was more like family related. So my mom came here before I came. So when I was really young, so she invited me for the visa, the green card. So when I was in college in South Korea, actually I was attending 한국외대 as a Spanish major. So I was in freshman year there, and then I really liked it because a lot of like drinking party, a lot of new friends, right? I was really enjoying it, and then I got this call from my mom that now you have the opportunity to come here. So I was like, oh, I'm not really interested in it. I really like my life here, and then I'm having a lot of fun. And then everyone, like in my family, they were like, you have to go, you have to give it a try. So I'm like, oh, not really. But I mean, yeah, I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. And then let me just study English here. And then maybe after 1 year of study, I'm going to go back to South Korea because I really liked it, right? And then I came to the United States when I was 19. And then I really like the education system here. Like in South Korea, it's really hard to change your major or try new things.
Definitely.
Like if you're in college, but here I think I changed my major a lot of times. Like, so also I was able to have other like different education. Like I was able to attend like singing class or drawing in college. So that was really a fun thing for me. So I was like, okay, maybe I might stay a little bit longer. And here now here I am. Yeah.
Wow, thanks for sharing. That's also like good story to be told.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I moved to US about 6 years ago because my dad was working in US that time. So that was right after me finishing military service. So after military service, I moved to US. At that time, I was thinking, okay, I'll learn English for a year and then I will just travel the world. I was those kind of hippie type of guy.
Right.
But when I attended college, I just loved it. Like, it was so casual. Like after the class, you can just talk to your professor about the matter you have. If you have questions, you can just ask them. I mean, I could ask questions to my professors back in Korea too, but I don't know, it wasn't that casual, and also I guess I just had like fun studying subjects in English. It was more fun to me. Like if I study same subject in Korean, like to me it's felt boring. But anyway, there was one thing, and then the sense of me. The biggest one is that the sense that I can become anything. Like back in Korea, like I felt like if you don't make it to the like medical school, you cannot become a doctor. But here, I saw like students. Oh, I want to become a doctor. I want to become a lawyer, because they were able to do it. Like even though you start from a community college, after you get a degree, you can go to medical school or law school. But to me, Korea felt like things get decided after you graduate from high school. But to me, America was a new start. So that's the main reason I liked about.
So you guys are kind of strong believers of the fact that still the American dream it still holds true, and it's pretty quite normal, and as long as like you try hard, like you can achieve a lot of things. That's good. It's a lot of there's all the every like thing has like silver lining here on the cloud, as you can tell, right? So let's talk about the other downside then. Like, are you guys all the time happy, or sometimes you guys don't miss Korea at all, or like it could be any topic, right? I'm just curious, like, because you guys are already living together. Once you guys have any like clashes or troubles and whatnot, or feel blue or feel depressed, like, what are the things that you guys kind of missed about Korean life?
I think the main thing is family, right? So I never had the chance to meet Jung's parents yet because COVID. So they were planning to come this year, but there was a COVID variant, so there is a mandatory quarantine in South Korea now, so they cannot do it, so they canceled the trip. So like that, something like that, it's really hard to face to face your parents and siblings or your friends in South Korea. I think that's the hardest part for me to live in the United States.
Family issue, right?
Yeah, family. Yeah,
To me, yeah, one thing is family, and the other thing is I miss the high pace in Korea. Like everything's faster, right? Like in terms of like internet, or in terms of like transportation,
customer
service, and also the working culture. Like people try to change every day.
Right.
Like if you're outdated, you're done. You're just fired. You're done. You're no value. That can be a bad thing, but I think as a young adult like us, that's necessary.
Right.
So in the near future, we're planning to actually go back to Korea and work there for a few years.
Yeah.
To get that sense of, how can I say?
Yeah, just people culture, working culture, work environment, like Korea's what do you say, the startup, just everything, and food, of course. Yeah.
Also, you guys are planning to come to Korea and work for a few years and then come back to United States for experience?
Yeah, but not very soon. Maybe in 3 to 5 years.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to Korea. Any questions about Korean life? Now let me hear your guys' questions. I think I bombard you guys with too many questions, right?
How do you maybe share your experience compared to working in the United States and then working in South Korean startup?
Sure.
How is it different?
So first, I got like job scammed, right? So I worked for like a really shitty company for 3 months, and I got out of it, and now I'm working for a really great company. But so as you can tell, a lot of Korean startups are centered around near Pangyo, which is sort of the copycat of the American Silicon Valley hills. Okay. This is quite near Seongnam City. Seongnam, in terms of geographical sense, it's kind of closer to Gangnam. It's like it's right outer part of the Gangnam area. And then Jeongja Station, this Pangyo Station are definitely the center of the Korean IT hubs, such as like, what makes you funny?
You're talking about the sperm station?
Exactly. So there were a lot of rumors regarding that. Some people call me like, why isn't there any Nanja station? If there's a sperm, there should be an egg. So there used to be a lot of jokes, and people here actually they actually protested against the government. We should change our station name, not Sperm Station, but other station. This place used to be called like a Baekgung Station, but I don't know what happened. But I also like posted this question on Carrot Market, like 당근 Market, okay, which is a secondhand transaction store, which is I think the equivalent of the could be like the Craigslist in America, right? Anyhow, sorry for sidetrack. But the thing is, the idea is, after I work for the company, like, of course, there are a lot of good people who have really good degrees and whatnot, but it apparently turns out that the boss is like really young kondes, in meaning that like he's really bossy, and so he wants to put a lot of authority on his shoulders, and he just boss us around, right? But right now, my company is I think it's even better than my previous company. There are a couple of reasons. First, food is amazing. I think food consists of a very huge proportion of people's life. Okay, especially for young people like us, it really matters. In Western saying, there's a word that you are what you eat. Okay, could you repeat after me? You are what you eat.
You
You
are
are
what
what
you
you
eat.
eat.
Exactly. So in that sense, like we only pay $5 or $6 every lunch, but everything is like buffet style. But it's not like a sort of shitty hibachi buffet style where I can experience like in Texas or something. They just like cater a lot of like shitty like ingredients from China. I mean, sorry for Chinese, but I'm not. What I'm saying is like a lot of it's really high end, high good quality, a lot of variations, and I can see the philosophy of the like food table. The lot of the old Korean ajumma from its local people, they just make it as like a really big business, okay? And they just like literally catered us with their heartfelt like 정성, okay? So that's the biggest reason, and we have like definitely free snacks. And those snacks are much better than Google snacks. I'm not denigrating Google snacks. They also have like really great snacks, okay? But I'll see the again the philosophy of the snacks, like less carbs, less saturated fat, less salt. Plus, I'll say actually living cost is not bad at all. You know, they're raised. I'm getting about 50K here, and nowadays like Korean government and Korean company they don't get along with together, you know, because Korean company they really don't want to like give taxes to Korean government. They're coming up with a lot of creative strategies to like tax less. So my like after tax is pretty high, and I could save a lot of money. That's a really big thing. And as you can tell, like the pace of living here is so fast. So I can meet a lot of young talents, and it's like Singapore. Everything is so near. You can get access to a lot of people, and there are like so many handsome dudes and pretty girls. And so every time, like when I'm on my work, I'm so happy. The subway is full of like it's like just like 소개팅 지하철, like a blinded subway, you know. So sometimes I feel there's no need for me to dating, you know. I feel so happy just looking at those amazing visuals in Korea.
How's your relationship?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so right now, like, I'm not in any relationship because I figure out like a lot of like jambari relationship are meaningless, and then right now under the way of finding somebody who's like really priceless and valuable. So if you get to know of anybody in Seoul, you know, I'll be more than happy to get connected through LinkedIn or any soul-getting app or something, you know. So yeah, so it's not going well. Actually, like,
On that matter.
huh?
We'll keep you updated on the matter. No worries.
Appreciate it. Please keep me in the loop. Please keep me in the loop, okay? And then the another thing is like I'm working on a side gig as like a quiet 선생님, like English tutor after my work. So this is kind of really funny shit because I'm really glad that I'm like having class and I'm using my English and earn money. But fortunately or unfortunately, all my students are kind of young females. So sometimes like, oh, like should I confess her? Or so my friend said, if you start just having a personal feeling over those students, you're gonna get fucked up. Meaning that your Huawei reputation will be over. So you better control your desire in that manner, you know.
Yeah,
So-
you better.
So it's kind of like yeah, and then so I think I'm living very busy and fast-paced life, and then I think I'm more adjusted to this life, you know, and yeah, this is life, K life, you know.
And you have your another side hustle podcast. How did you get to start the podcast? I was curious.
Yeah, so usually like I have about 45-minute commute hour, a 45-minute like sort of commute time every morning. It's one way, right? So pretty much like I'm spending 2 hours on a train, right? As a ballpark. So I kept thinking like, how would I utilize this time the best? And I subscribe to sort of English magazines or the Korean Herald or something, but I can't like read those small letters on subway. So I get to listen to like a lot of different like YouTube channels. I used to just watch a lot of like prank shows in America, but they all mostly got censored in Korea, you know. And Koreans are right now like really get stressed about a lot of spy cam or hidden cam or something that issues. So I ended up finding like Eric Nam's like Daebak Show, which is like similar to this podcast channel. And I really enjoy listening to his speech because he graduated from like very good university and he used to work as like hedge fund. So his English is really like very tailored and very well cultivated compared to like other shitty English like Jay Parker or something. He's just like a street guy, right? I mean, I really admire, I love him so much, but he used too many swear words, and I can't teach those expressions to my students, right? For hey, you're like fucking badass girl, like, and they wouldn't like register my class if I just keep teaching that expression, right? So, while I just scroll over some Facebook or check out the profile, actually, now that it has been exact 10 years since I graduated my high school and I got to get connected with a couple of them, they're living their life wonder in overseas. A couple of female friends, they got married. And it's really sometimes, don't you guys feel that like it's sometimes really awkward or hard for me to talk something with Korean in Korean, but it's much easier for me to talk to them in English? So that's how I started. I sort of sneakily recorded them and I just posted on Goranchi channel. And a couple of my friends reported that, hey, like Kevin actually like sneakily recorded your recording. But actually, I was very afraid of deleting the channel. Maybe like he or she got, maybe she's on period, that she got really fussy about it. But I'm like, oh no, Kevin, this is so cool, you know? Could you do more of these videos? Because I really enjoy listening to your talented friends' stories and how they live. Because I think Koreans, they are living their best to like in a vertical way. They only like see the front, they don't see sideways. But I think podcast is such a great channel that help you like look sideways, like how your friends are living amazing at the same period of time, you know. So I think I'm the kind of person who believes that life is a connecting dot, right? You should connect the dot, and if you connect more dot, then you can have more money. That means you have more positive influence giving off to a lot of people. And I think that's how BTS got so popular. They just give off such a great power and influence to a lot of like young teenagers in America. Is BTS big in Baltimore as well?
BTS, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't keep up with BTS. Sorry to disappoint you.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah. Any more questions, guys? I think we probably should have like sequel 2 channel or something. I really enjoy having pockets with you guys. But let's wrap up by sharing like two or three more questions, and we could just call it a day. Okay.
Okay.
What are questions? Yeah. Anything that you guys bring up to the table? So, do you guys plan to have a baby or no?
Not yet.
We are, but yeah, not yet.
How many of them are you guys planning to have?
Like, just count the number of the horns she has. 1, 2, 3.
1.
Oh, interesting. 1. Okay. My biggest question is like, so as a 2-person right now, like Sojang is a breadwinner, or Jihong, are you also? Do you also have like side gig to pay your rent or housing mortgage and stuff like that?
I can proudly say that she's the only bread earner in this household.
Amazing. So, is it very like livable in America, like to afford housing, afford a car, or?
It is not.
It's not.
For now, we're minus, completely minus. We're just using our savings. I have to get the job ASAP.
Yeah.
So it's
But once we get a job, you know, it'll be a lot.
exactly. So I think I
don't really worry a lot, you know.
yeah, I don't think it's a spending. I think it's investment actually, right?
Yeah, it's investment for sure, 100%.
For sure. Likewise. So, Jihong, like maybe you can get a job in anywhere in country, but you wish to have a job near you where you live, right?
So we're renting this place. We're thinking about buying a house, but we ended up just renting it, thinking, okay, if I get a job like somewhere far from here, you know, I just have to commute like let's say 2 hours, and that doesn't make sense. So I mean, I can get a job anywhere, honestly, and then
Yeah, we
maybe
can
get
we
get a
can
house
yeah
near
we
there.
can get something in somewhere in the middle. So yeah, it doesn't really matter.
But I really like this area, and there's a lot of job,
Yeah, a lot
tech
of-
job, a lot of data job in DC and Virginia area. So we're thinking about getting a house there if I get a job over there.
Right. And then I guess Sojung, you're a citizen, so maybe Jihong, you're in terms of visa status, your visa is also like going towards from like student visa to green card and citizen and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm in process of getting the green card.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have any worry about your guys' future kind of
Yeah.
whereabouts. I think you guys are gonna do very great. But it's just really good to like talk to you and like hear a lot of different stories. Any advice from you guys? Like, if you what would you guys recommend me? Just anything. Let's assume that like I'm your little brother or something, right? Like, is there any advice that you can give to me right now as a successful Asian American living in America?
We'll tell you some good advice if you come visit us in Baltimore. There's so many things to do, so just come visit us, little brother.
I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, and then in terms of marriage, are you guys coming December or very soon to get married in Korea, or how is the plan going?
So we're aiming for not next year, but the 2023 spring.
Okay, so that's by the time that you'll probably get your master's done and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where's your hometown, Sojong? Are you said you're from Incheon area or something?
I was in Incheon when I was really young, but I'm from Paju. Why are you laughing?
Paju?
I'm from Paju, really close
Do
to
you know
North
the
Korea.
small town right next to North Korea? You can almost
Yeah.
call it as a Korean town.
There are a lot of military troops and based there. A couple of my
Yeah,
friends.
Yeah.
My coworkers, he has like a ranch, like mukjang, so he's all the time squeezing the milk cow every morning. So I think I know how rural it is, you know. So are you guys planning to get married on the Paju Ranch mukjang or in Busan or what? Did you guys make a decision?
That sounds like an idea.
what? Yeah.
Because since you guys are Korean Americans in Gyopo, I don't. I mean, I definitely any place will be welcome, and I'll be more than happy to participate in and go. But like, I think it would be nice that you guys can think of any special location, right? This is just my advice, you know.
We are not thinking about getting a traditional wedding in Korea. We are either get a marriage in like nice scenery outside area, or we're actually. Oh, I guess I forgot to tell you, but we're currently enrolled in RCIA program. Have you heard about it? It's like
You said marriage counseling?
no. We start to go to the Catholic Church, and we are thinking about becoming a Catholic.
Oh, you mean you mean you're talking about the religion right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you Catholic, Sojong?
No, I'm not. That's why we're studying together now. We
Yeah.
just want to learn what it is. So
Wow.
maybe we'll see, but we might get married in church.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
the part I was trying.
Wow, that sounds really like that's a big wow, you know. Sounds amazing to me.
How's your religious life?
It's amazing actually. Like I really got to make a lot of church friends here. But fortunately or unfortunately, they're all guys because if you just bump into any random guy wearing glasses in this town, they're developers and it's all Pepper Street, you know. We find less clams here. Anyhow, that was a bad joke. But the point is, yeah, I mean, I think I almost fell in love with those guys, you know. Those guys are really like well educated and good manners. So it's really kind of tragedy. We have like less female ratio here. So it's like Silicon Valley, right? But the good part is I get to spend a lot of great time with them playing guitar, playing ping pong, doing a lot of cycling, going picnic. And then I mean, I'm just a little bit kidding. There are, of course, like female members, but I don't think I feel attracted to them, you know? Yeah. I'll put that into chapter 2 story later. But anyhow, I really enjoyed this, Jihong. Because I got to date with non-Christian girlfriend. So this year I had like 3 girlfriends in Korea. One was Christian, the other 2 was non-Christian. And then I had like so many clashes and disagreements when I had the dating with like non-Christian girlfriend, you know. And not just because of those like drinking or sexual kind of discussion, but also just I think what we see or what we hope for the future, I think that really matters for 2 people. So that's why I think religion became my first priority when I try to find my future potential girlfriend.
I see.
Yeah. So do you guys all the time get along together, or do you guys sometimes like fight, or have sometimes a bickering or whatnot?
I think we're like best friend. I feel like he's my husband, but I more feel like he's my best friend because whatever we do, we have so much fun together. Like really, really like whatever we do,
Wow.
right? So
So do you guys believe the saying that opposites attracts? If you guys like analyze your MBTI, is it exact opposite or similar? You guys have more common grounds with one another?
I don't know. Mine is ENFP. What is yours?
I forgot, but I'll say we're like 80% similar and like 20% different.
Except brain and IQ or personality.
What are some major differences that you guys have, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, difference. He's more like analytical, more like mathematical side. I'm more like emotional. I have more EQ. He has more IQ. So that's the easier way to say.
That's a good way to put it. Any more questions, guys? I think I really enjoyed today's podcast. I'll upload it very soon and share the channel.
Yeah.
I did enjoy watching Sojang's channel. Is your YouTube channel still active? Could you share me some tips
It
too?
is. Yeah, it is.
I don't know how to grow my channel. I think there's like a certain tips or measures that I should take. I heard.
How many subscribers do you have?
56.
I have 52. So
Neck and neck, my doi, my friend.
You gotta miss me.
Yeah. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much for coming to my show. I think I'll probably grab some lunch and get back to my work. So I hope you guys have a really great Christmas and stay safe from COVID. I hope we all could meet in person in one day in future. And I look forward to keep talking to you. So please keep me in the loop and keep me posted. Okay?
Yeah, thanks for having us and
Yeah, I enjoyed this time so much. I wish we can have this again in near future.
Yeah, because the good part is since I recorded this is not like volatile, meaning this conversation or history does not go away. It's all the time there. So every time we want to like rewind our memory, or if we want to go back to like, hey, what are the things that we've discussed? We can all the time go back, and we can also pick up our expressions, cultural, like just in sentences and anything, basically.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Now I want to start my podcast like after doing this.
You
I
must,
love
you
this.
must, and there's gonna be a lot of Korean viewers who want to listen to, because you guys are kind of belong to very rare case in a kind of the population quota. Not many people are living like you guys, right, in America, right? So if you guys share that kind of sides of American life or just anything in studying or playing whatnot, a lot of Koreans will be more than happy to subscribe to your channel. You guys have more scarcity than I do, per se. So you guys have like better shot, my friend.
Right. Yes, sir.
So
Right.
my last question is, guys, like, how is my English? Is it still sharp, or do you think I still need a like long way to go, or what?
Dude, sharp as hell. I mean, look at me. I guess my English got much worse like after graduating from college. Like back in college, I spoke with, I would say like 99% of my friends were Americans, so I had to speak English like 24/7. Like, but from LG, like percentage decreased drastically. Like I had to like speak Korean all day. My Korean got better, but my English is getting worse day by day. Especially like this period of time, I just had to like listen to like Chinese professors lecture 8 hours a day, and so it's no use. It's no good.
Do you guys talk?
You are sharp. You are very sharp.
Do you guys communicate in English or no? Thank you for your compliment. I'm very flattered, but I don't feel that my English is good enough. But do you guys talk one another in English or Chinese or Korean? What?
Chinese.
Oh wow! Next time you guys should teach me Chinese. It's called 고랑지, right? Korean, English, and Chinese. All right. So that's the gist, guys. Let's call it off today, and then I hope you guys have a great night. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. My college student send me the money, wire me the money. I'm so happy to see my bank account.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Appreciate it, my friend. All right, guys, have a good night, okay?
You have a good weekend.
Bye bye. Take care.